Wonderful Prayer. Wonderful Prayer is a prayer meeting for women only. It's absolutely free every first Saturday of the month. So you can come by and join us. You can go to wonderfulprayer.com and see all of the information on that. I'm on all social media, Instagram, Wonderful Prayer, Facebook, Angela Martin and Wonderful Prayer, Twitter, Angela Wonderful. Just, you know. I remember we were trying to figure out a name. I said, no, I can't say Wonderful Angela. No. We'll just say Angela Wonderful. But yeah, you can check that out and get all the information on that if you'd like. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today, just to empower you. Can you just reach out and take your sister by the hand and just say, I'm glad that you're here today. I'm glad that you're here. I'm just glad that you're here today. I'm so glad that you're here. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity. I'm going to encourage you and just simply have a conversation with you. Can we talk? Yes. Let's just talk a little bit today. Okay, we're just going to talk. So first of all, I'm not going to be before you too long. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was a very active child, very active. On summer breaks, I would get up early and go outside and play, and I would play all day long. And my mother would literally have to bring me in for lunch and dinner because in the summer I just loved the sunshine and I just loved to be out and I just loved to play. And I didn't only play with the girls, I also liked to play with the boys. Because my girlfriends kind of like, you know, they like to play safe. I like to really play. So I loved things like skateboarding. Any skateboarders? Yeah, you like skateboarding? Yeah, I love skateboarding, but none of my girlfriends really liked skateboard. So I would skateboard with my friends that were boys, and I'll never forget I had a yellow skateboard. It was so cute. I was the best skateboarder on the block, y'all. I was so good. I also like to do daring things like swinging on the swings. Even to this day, there's a park that a trail that I walk around, and they have swings on there, and I get on the swings. Don't tell nobody. But I get on the swings sometimes, and I love to get on the swings because I would go as high as I could go on the swings. And when I got to my highest point, I would jump out of the swings. Yeah, I would just jump out. I just loved it. I felt so free. I felt like I was flying. So when I got to my highest point, I would jump out of the swings. Now we know now that that's a little dangerous to jump out of the swings, right? But you know how the saying goes, God takes care of fools and babies. So I'm glad I was young, so I'll claim the baby part. I'm not going to claim the foolish part. I was just a baby, but I love doing that. So then I like riding my bike. And when my friends would ride their bikes, this is really dangerous too, but you know, I already told y'all it's a little dangerous, a little bit. I would like to ride on the handlebars. Oh, yeah. Any of you like to ride on the handlebars? Yeah, I got some handlebars. Yeah, I would love to ride on the handlebars. So when my friends would ride their bikes, I would jump on the handlebars while they were riding. I just have such a good time. Until one day, I was riding on Rufus Taylor's handlebars. And he hit a bump in the road. And his bike ran over me. Yeah. So now, whenever I see a bike, I am reminded not to ride on the handlebars. And I gave you a stopwatch today. Do you have it? Yes. You have it? Very good. And that stopwatch is going to remind you not to stop. To put your time in and to continue to go. Should I move away from there a little bit? Is that what I should do, you think? Move away from the speaker? You hear that ringing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try to move away. Maybe this will be a little better. Maybe this is a little better. So when I was meditating about coming here today, I said, Lord, what would you have me to do? Why did you have queuing to invite me to this meeting today? What do you want me to tell your daughters? And he said to me, give them these 5 words. Don't stop in the middle. Don't stop in the middle. I want you to empower 3 other women around you and tell them, don't stop in the middle. Don't stop in the middle. That's why I gave you that stopwatch to remind you. you not to stop. It is a proven fact that, you know what we're going to do? Maybe it's a little too much, you think? What do you want me to do? Go ahead. Okay. All right, so it's a proven fact that Americans, we don't have a problem starting things. We start things all the time. According to Forbes, an average of 543,000 businesses are started each year. But only 3 out of 10 of them last past 2 years because they stop where? They stop in the middle. According to Fast Stats in Love and Marriage, there is an average of 2.5 million marriages per year. However, I'm sure that you've heard of the proverbial 7-year itch. Have you ever heard about that? So most marriages only last about 8.5 years in the United States because they stop where?
In the middle.
They stop in the middle. It is estimated that 45 million Americans start a diet each year and spend $33 billion each year on weight loss products. But according to the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, 18.5% of children and 40% of adults experience obesity because they do what? They stop in the middle. More than 12% of Americans join the gym in January. But by the second week of February, 80% of them are gone. 8% of the women remain, while 14% of the men remain. 87%, more than half the people that have a paid gym membership, which on an average is about $60 a month. 67% of the people that have a paid membership don't go. But they pay every month. How many of you have, you pay every month. You pay for it. But they don't go to the gym because they do what? They stop where?
In the middle.
They stop in the middle. So I'm proving to you that starting really isn't an issue with people. We start all the time. But I submit to you today that even finishing is not really hard. Because once you get past the middle part, you'll see the finish line and you'll keep going. But what happens is we stop in the middle. And when you get to that point in whatever journey you're on, the middle, it's literally like a stare down. The middle is standing there in front of you saying, what you gonna do? Right. Anything you are a part of, you will come to the middle. So can I tell you about my meeting with the middle? Can I tell you about that?
Yes, ma'am.
It never fails. The middle always shows up. When I get right in the middle of my work, I feel like quitting. Every single time. Have you ever been there? Yeah, you get right in the middle of it. Just right in the middle. I mean, smack dab in the middle. You feel like you cannot go any further. The middle literally has a voice. The middle will say things like, you can't make it. Give it up, give it up. That's it for today. You can't make it. You're tired. Just go home. Have you ever heard that? Yeah. While you're working out? Yeah, just go home. You look real good. You look good. You don't have to work this hard anymore. You've done enough. You're finished. Just go home. Those are the types of things that the middle will say. Oh yes, the middle speaks loud and clear. I don't care how loud the music is in the gym. The middle will speak louder.
Yes, sir.
Yes, come on.
When I'm confronted with the middle, I recognize it. And I think to myself, oh, I know who you are. You were here Monday when I was here. You're here Wednesday when I'm here. You're going to be here Friday. The middle always shows up. But I found the secret to dealing with the middle. I found it. Do you want to know the secret?
Yes.
Okay, lean in. Just lean in. Right here. The secret to dealing with the middle is to keep going. It's not rocket science. It's a decision that you will have to make. You have to just continue to keep going. Whatever you start in your life, you're going to get to a point where you're going to feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. Even my sisters that are authors here, you got to the middle of that book, you put it on the shelf for me, and it's like, I got to finish it. Anything that you start, you're going to get to the middle. The middle is not biased or partial to your health and wellness. The middle will show up in your business. The middle will show up in your marriage. The middle will show up in your education. How many of you just maybe have a few more hours to get that degree, but you got to the middle? Yeah, you got to the middle. Yeah, the middle will show up. The middle will show up in your spiritual walk with God.
Yes, Lord.
You'll be doing real good for about 2 weeks. Then, that third week hits you. You don't pray for a few days. You don't worship for a few days. You don't read for a few days. When you get to the middle, it'll meet you everywhere. The reason that I told you my secret to dealing with the middle is to keep going is because right behind the antagonist in your story, which is the middle, is your hero. You want to know the name of your hero? Ask me. Say, Angela, what's the name of my hero? Second wind. The second wind is right behind the middle. Your second one is right there. Your second one is telling you, come on, just keep going right here behind this middle. If you just cross this middle here, not the finish line, just the middle. The second one is right there. And I promise you, those of you who work out, after you get past the middle, don't you find yourself feeling okay?
Yeah.
And when you end your workout, you feel great.
Yeah.
Because you push past where? You push past the middle. So your second one is described as a person's ability to breathe freely after having been out of breath. So you really will be like, oh, I can't make it. Oh, I can't make it. I can't make it. You keep going. You keep going. You keep going. And you're like, whoo, feel a little better. Whoo, I think I can do it. Whoo, I think I can make it. Have you ever been there? Because you push past to your second wind. Your second wind is going to push you into overdrive. It's going to push you into overdrive, and it's going to allow you to go ahead to the finish line. The middle is trying to hold you back, but the second wind is literally behind the middle. Let's imagine this is your middle. The second wind is right here saying, come on. Come on, get past this. You got this. Come on, keep coming, keep coming. Keep coming. Just come on around this. Come on around this. I'm right here. I'm going to give you a second wind. So your antagonist is what? Your antagonist is what?
The middle.
Who's your hero?
Second wind.
Who's your hero?
Second wind.
Second wind. That's your hero. There's this book that I really love reading. Absolutely love it. It's actually a book with 66 small books in it. Oh, I love it so much. It's called the Bible. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. And there's one smaller book in the Bible. It's called 2 Chronicles. In the 15th chapter, the 7th verse. I can't wait to share this with you. It says, be strong and do not give up. For your work will be rewarded. Ooh. I said your work will be rewarded. All work is rewarded. Any work you put in, all work is rewarded. How many of you ever looked in the mirror after you've worked out real good and been on your meal prep and doing your meals well? How many of you ever looked in the mirror and saw your reward? You like that reward, don't you? Yeah. How many of you have ever walked across the stage to get your degree and you saw your reward? You ever checked your bank account? You worked real hard and you saw your what?
Reward.
You saw your reward. How many of you have ever gone to the doctor after getting some bad news, and then after you worked on it and did what the doctor told you to do, you go back and get a good report? You see your what?
Reward.
You see your reward. Because all work will be rewarded. It happened because you did not give up in the middle. Then there's another book called Philippians. And in the 4th chapter, in the 13th verse, it says, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. The strength of God literally shows up when you need it most, and the time that you really need it is in the middle. Jesus is waiting for you. The middle is right there, but Jesus is waiting for you to just get past the middle. His grace. The second wind, another word for the second wind is called grace. Grace is nothing but the ability of God. And as you're on your journey to do whatever you have set out to do, you're going to need some grace. You have to have a space where you can kick in into. You have to have something that you can plug into. You have to plug into source. You have to plug into God. You have to plug into a source that is higher than yourself. Because how many of you know that you finally realize, I can't do this by myself?
Yes.
Anybody know that you can't do it by yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever reached for some grace? Have you ever reached for it? Was grace always there?
Always.
It was always there. Grace is there to help you to get across the finish line and push past the middle. So whenever I see the handlebars of a bike now, I know that that's not the place where I want to ride. Because I remember Rufus Taylor. And I remember that bike riding over me. And so what I want you to do, with whatever you're trying to accomplish, I want you to grab that stopwatch, keep it in your wallet, put it on your mirror, wherever you need to see it, put it in your car. And whenever you see that stopwatch, I want it to remind you not to stop in the middle. God bless you.
Thank you.